President Tinubu approves takeoff of consumer credit scheme.
Vice President Shettima advocates judicial reforms to entrench functional justice system.
I have also noted achievements in the area of legislative reforms, which resulted in the nationwide adoption of the Administration of Criminal Justice Act laws.
And World Bank humanitarian project for disability inclusion in Nigeria ends.
On Good Morning Nigeria today, we shall discuss reform in the mining industry.
All right, few months ago, precisely on January 16th this year, of course, the very ancient, reserved and quiet city of Ibadan experienced explosion that left casualties and massive damage to property.
How can I forget, Claire? Such a disruptive incident. Investigation and media sources confirmed that the explosion was caused by illegal mining activities, which led to storing explosive devices in one of the buildings in Bodija area of that city.
Absolutely, Victor. It was quite rendering, when you consider the impact of that explosion. And of course, you know that the story is the same in many of our mineral-rich communities in different parts of the country, where illegal miners, have continued to exploit the country. Of course, with cooperation, alleged, cooperation, or alleged cooperation, I should say, yes. with communities in those states where resources abound, and we're talking about gold to zinc to limestone, to phosphate and so many others.
Claire, sadly, these activities of illegal miners have caused a lot of devastation in Nigeria, with residents lamenting not only the physical damage, but also how able-bodied youths are being lured into the nefarious activity.
And if we, recall during the administration of President Muhammad Buhari, Zamfara State was one of the states, if not, the main state to receive a ban in 2019, and that was, of course, to curtail influx of illegal miners and their collaborators. And the fact is that the record shows that Nigeria loses billions of naira owing to unjust activities of those operators in their in our mining industry, which, of course, by the way, reportedly contributes less than 1% to the gross domestic product. That's the GDP. Victor.
Modernizing in Nigeria, mining involves leveraging technology, policy reforms, and investment to transform the sector into a more efficient, productive, and sustainable industry.
Indeed, and we must say that the immediate past administration did quite a lot in trying to sanitize that industry. That's the mining industry, reduce the activities of illegal miners in communities such as Zamfara, and came out with also some policies to enable state governments, not as subnational entities, but as corporate bodies, to be able to also partake, and that was also meant to curtail, the activities of illegal miners, and also to ensure transparency in the whole sector. And as we all know, Nigeria is, of course, rich in mineral resources, and we've named quite a number of them, from the east to the south, and to north central. To the north, you have coal, you have iron ore, you have gold, you have limestone, and so many others. But again, that sector has continued to face challenges such as outdated methods, as Victor and I have already said. illegal mining activities leading to, increased banditry, kidnapping, infrastructure, inadequacy, regulatory issues, and so on and so forth.
And modernizing, the practice of mining in Nigeria, Claire, aims to increase efficiency and productivity through automation and mechanization, improve environmental and social sustainability by adopting best practices and international standards.
It's not just modernizing. If you modernize, of course, modernizing would imply, introducing modern infrastructure, ways to also
modern methods,
way to also detect, illegal, not just detect and curb illegal miners, from operating, and also revenue.
Yeah.
And also revenue. So all of this would entail...
And then security, because if you are talking modern methods, you can't take away technology, which will be able to give you that surveillance over the area.
Precisely. So that all of this will be encapsulated in what he's talking about. That's what Victor is talking about, modernizing that sector. But that will not be all. It will also... we also need to enhance governance and transparency, like I said, through policy reforms and digitalization. And this will attract investment and promote local content development, just as it will also develop skilled workforce and support our local communities in terms of revenue generation.
And some potential strategies for modernizing mining in Nigeria are said by the experts to include adopting digital technologies like we already have mentioned earlier, like geological mapping, drones, and data analytics, implementing environmentally friendly practices and rehabilitation programs, developing infrastructure such as roads, rail, and energy supply. Others are strengthening regulatory frameworks and enforcement, encouraging community engagement and social responsibility initiatives.
Mining activity involves quite a lot, and of course, apart from the need for workforce, it also contributes, it has great potential to create jobs and contribute to a country's economic development and sustainable resource extraction. There's no need to overemphasize, the benefits that accrue from that sector.
If properly harnessed.
Yeah. And that's why today on Good Morning Nigeria, we will be looking at that sector. We'll be giving our searchlight on that sector, and of course, we also understand that there will be a round table, to brainstorm some of the issues that we have raised. So, on this note, we'll welcome you once again, all of you, wherever you're watching from. I say good morning to you and hello. I am Claire Agilabo Abdul-Razak. Welcome to the program.
And Claire, only yesterday, the Minister of Solid Minerals Development, Dele Alake, revoked 924 dormant licenses with immediate effect, 528 exploration licenses, 20 mining leases, and, 101 quarry licenses, as well as 273 small-scale mining licenses. So, shall we say that the reform has already started? Well, we'll find out in just a bit. I'm Victor Azu. It's a pleasure to have you join us on this episode of the program. We're live on the network service of the NTA. Expect the complimentary newspaper review in the course of the program. In the meantime, let's join Dennis Adeguloye for the morning news. Hello, Dennis.
Hello, good morning, Victor, and Claire. Good morning, Nigerians. Here is the morning news. Federal government has advised the nation's judiciary to embark on reforms that will ensure functional justice system that guarantees basic human and political rights of individuals and provides security. Vice President Kashim Shettima was speaking while he declared open the 2024 National Summit on Justice held at the National Judicial Institute, Abuja.
I am, however, not oblivious to the successes and various achievements recorded by justice sector institutions. In this regard, I am fully aware of the long-fought battle and efforts of the Federal Ministry of Justice, which saved the nation from huge financial indebtedness and international embarrassment. I have also noted achievements in the area of legislative reforms, which resulted in the nationwide adoption of the Administration of Criminal Justice Act laws, as well as the nationwide adoption of the Child Rights Act, the enactment of the Police Act and related reforms.
The National Council on Privatization has received key recommendations from its committee on a proposed merger of the Bank of Agriculture with the Central Bank of Nigeria's Nirsal Microfinance Limited and a fresh capital injection to revitalize the bank. Vice President Kashim Shettima at the second National Council on Privatization meeting of 2024 reiterated President Bola Tinubu's commitment to repositioning the Bank of Agriculture to drive the administration's food security agenda. Presenting the committee's report, the Minister of Finance and Coordinating Minister of the Economy, Wale Edun, who doubles as the NCP Vice Chairman, said the Council's decision was informed by the challenges identified and the need for an urgent resolution of the issues confronting the bank. In a move to bring transparency and efficiency to the nation's energy sector, the NCP also noted the proposal seeking approval for the establishment of an independent system operator from the Transmission Company of Nigeria. NCP Chairman, Vice President Kashim Shettima set up a committee to liaise with the Special Advisor to the President on Energy and the Federal Ministry of Power to provide a roadmap and reach out to stakeholders. On a strategy paper for the optimization of oil and gas assets, the Council formed a committee to look into issues concerning oil and gas infrastructure, stressing the importance of investors in the sector. The committee has been given 3 weeks to come up with its reports on optimizing the nation's oil and gas assets. And President Bola Tinubu has approved the takeoff of the first phase of the Consumer Credit Scheme, which serves as the lifeblood of modern economies, enabling citizens to enhance their quality of life by accessing goods and services up front and paying responsibly over time. The President indicates that the scheme also facilitates crucial purchases such as homes, vehicles, education and healthcare, essential for ongoing stability to pursue their aspirations through responsible payment. Tinubu believes every hardworking Nigerian should have access to social mobility, with consumer credit playing a pivotal role in achieving this vision. The Nigerian Consumer Credit Corporation's mandate includes strengthening Nigeria's credit reporting systems, ensuring every economically active citizen has a dependable credit score, offering credit guarantees and wholesale lending to financial institutions dedicated to broadening consumer credit access and promoting responsible consumer credit as a pathway to improved quality of life and fostering a cultural shift towards growth and financial responsibility. In line with the President's directive to expand consumer credit access to Nigerians, the Nigeria Consumer Credit Corporation, Credicorp, a portal for Nigerians to express interest in receiving consumer credit, has been launched. A 2-year project to strengthen implementation of SDGs 10 and 17 for disability inclusion in Nigeria has ended. National Commissioner for Persons with Disabilities benefited from the intervention of the Human Rights Inclusion Empowerment Trust Fund through the World Bank.
9 operational policies and guidelines. We also supported them in developing a needs assessment plan, that will help them looking at now and future.
A strong alert from the Minister of Solid Minerals Development, Dele Alake, to 924 dormant license owners as their mandate to the mining site has been revoked. And for them to get admission back to site, a fine of 10 million naira must be paid to the federal government. This was the content of a press briefing by the minister in Abuja.
In view of the above, which shows our adherence with due process and fair consideration, and in line with the standard policy of use it or lose it, I hereby revoke the 924 dormant licenses with immediate effect. These include 528 exploration licenses, 20 mining licenses, 101 quarry licenses, and 273 small-scale licenses.
32 ex-offenders are being given a second chance as entrepreneurs by the Nigeria Correctional Service. The ex-offenders who learnt various trades while in custody have been presented starter packs to enable them to set up and potentially train others.
I wish to call on all well-meaning Nigerians to wholly accept these reformed citizens, desist from stigmatizing them, and support their progress by patronizing them and their products.
Well, those are the highlights of the news at this time. Good Morning Nigeria continues after the break with Claire and Victor. Have a nice day.